Keys have only scored 1 run and had 5 base hits. Overall in the season, the Keys have scored just 11 runs in those 8 games against the Prince William Cannons, and their team batting average against the Cannons is just 157. So the Keys need to get the bats going if they're going to have a good chance to defeat Prince William this evening in Game 3 of this 3-game series. On the mound tonight, it'll be right-handed pitcher Matt Marenghi for Frederick. He'll be making his 15th start of 1995. And for the Prince William Cannons, it will be Rich Pratt, a left-hander. And the last time the Keys faced Rich Pratt, they were no-hit back on May the 19th. Pratt pitched 7 innings in Game 2 of a doubleheader. The game was only 7 innings long as he allowed no base hits and no runs and struck out 5 in shutting out and no-hitting the Frederick Keys. So it won't get any easier for Frederick tonight offensively. We'll have more on the pitching matchup and tonight's game between the Keys and the Cannons a little bit later in our pregame show. But right now, let's check the weather. For the second straight day in Frederick, it was beautiful. Mostly sunny this afternoon, high temperature in the low 80s. Currently, it's mostly sunny with 78-degree temperature. Tonight, it's going to be considerably cloudy with a low temperature in the mid to upper 60s and light winds. Beach weekend continues here at Grove Stadium. The weather is good. The Keys had 4 games rained out in the past 10 days, so I think most folks here at Grove Stadium are just happy that there's a good chance we'll get this game in this evening. With the good weather conditions, the atmosphere is very good here at Grove Stadium. Well, right now we'll step out and take a break, but when we come back, we'll have highlights of yesterday's Keys-Cannons game. That's coming up when our Keys pregame show continues right after these messages.
It's time to take to the road. Beckley's Camping Center offers over 20 brands of motorhomes and travel trailers featuring Coleman folding trailers by Fleetwood. Beckley's has 13 Coleman models to choose from, so you can enjoy the beauty of the great outdoors with a trailer that's right for you. Coleman's sturdy, lightweight construction allows for easy setup, giving you more time to relax with family and friends. Get a head start on your vacation. Visit Beckley's Camping Center, your full-service RV dealer, Route 15, 12 miles north of Frederick.
You won't get your hands on a QVC product until we get our hands on it. Some people say we're tough.
Very tough.
This is the drop test, where we make sure a product will hold up during shipping.
These have to be rewritten.
We stand behind everything we sell, so if somebody returns a product because they don't like the color or something like that,
Perfection.
that's okay.
I just don't want them to have to return it. Because it doesn't work.
A good Monday evening crowd here at Harry Grove Stadium. Thanks for joining us tonight for Cable 10's broadcast of Frederick Keys baseball. I'm Jeff Wachter along with Paul Merrill, and we'll bring you all of the action of tonight's game. The Keys have had trouble hitting lately. Just 5 hits in the first 2 games of this series against the Cannons. In the second half, Frederick batting just 191, and they're in last place overall in the Carolina League in team batting with an average of just 233. But they have had pretty good pitching and decent defense lately, as you see Coyote, the Keys mascot. Yesterday, Frederick was only able to produce 3 base hits. 2 of those hits were by Tommy Davis, as Scott Chrisman and Steve Worrell pitched a shutout for the Prince William Cannons against Frederick. We pick up the action in the 6th inning with no score, runners at first and second. A pickoff attempt by Carlos Chavez. He throws it into center field. Frank Menachino advances to third base, and that'll set up what will be the first run of the game. Joe Durso hits it to the right side. Angel Pagan throws to Jeff Michael. Menachino comes in to score, and the Cannons had a 1-0 lead in the 6th inning. Now in the 7th, same score. Andre Newhouse blasts a solo home run to left off of Chavez. That gave the Cannons a 2-0 lead and some insurance, and that was all the scoring in the game as Prince William goes on to defeat Frederick 2-0. Scott Chrisman was the winning pitcher. Steve Worrell pitched well in relief and gained his 2nd save. Carlos Chavez took the loss for Frederick, his first loss since April the 24th. There were 3 other games in the Carolina League yesterday. In addition to that Keys 2-0 loss to the Prince William Cannons, the Kinston Indians, who won the first half of the Carolina League, were victorious once again yesterday. They were playing the Durham Bulls. Kinston got a 5-1 victory. Danny McGee homered for Durham for their only run, and Richie Sexton, who's had a hot bat the entire season, had 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in for the Indians. Elsewhere, it was Wilmington 7 and Salem 3. Raul Gonzalez was 3 for 4 with a double, a triple, and 2 runs batted in for the Blue Rocks. And Oscar Jimenez added to the Wilmington offensive assault. He was 3 for 4 and had a triple. Winston-Salem down Lynchburg 4-1. Home runs by Ray Brown and Mike Meggers led the way for the Warthogs. Now to the Carolina League standings in the second half. Wilmington is in first place in the Northern Division with a 7-4 record. Lynchburg is 2 games behind at 5-6. They've lost 6 of their last 10 games. Prince William is in third place with a 4-9 record. They have a .308 winning percentage compared to the Keys' .300 percentage. That's why Prince William is just 8 percentage points ahead of Frederick, who has a 3-7 record, even though the Keys are only 4 games under .500 and the Cannons are 5 games under. Both the Keys and the Cannons have lost 7 of their last 10 games. Now to the Southern Division. The Salem Avalanche is in first place with an 8-4 record. Kinston is tied with them. They're 9-5. Kinston won the first half title. Winston-Salem is just a game back at 7-5. And the Durham Bulls are in last place in the Southern Division, 3.5 games off the pace with a 4-7 record. It's beach weekend here at Grove Stadium. This is the final night of the beach affair, and it's a good night weather-wise. Sunny skies right now and 78 degrees as you see a young Keys fan. In the game tonight, it'll be Matt Marenghi pitching for Frederick and Rich Pratt pitching for the Prince William Cannons. And as I mentioned earlier, Pratt had a no-hitter against Frederick back in the middle of May. Down on the farm, the Bowie Bay Sox have won 7 of their last 8 games. During that 8-game stretch, they've outscored their opponents 45-6. Rocky Coppinger, who led the Carolina League in many pitching categories before being promoted to the Bay Sox, is 3-2 with Bowie with a 2.89 earned run average. And Matt Jarvis was selected to the Eastern League All-Star team. Jarvis has a 7-5 record currently. Well, we'll step out for another break, and when we return, my colleague Paul Merrill visits with Key skipper Mike O'Barry. The Manager's Corner is coming up when we return after these messages.
Hi, boys and girls. If you're 14 or under, you can join the Frederick Keys Knothole Gang for only $6. As a Knothole Gang member, you'll receive an official Knothole Gang membership card, admission to all Monday and Wednesday games for 25 cents, a Knothole Gang t-shirt, a free baseball clinic with the Keys players and coaches, and a chance to win prizes every Knothole Gang night. For more information, call the Keys at 662-0013.
The silver bullet. It's shipped cold to preserve the clean taste of the Rockies.
Wachter and Paul Merrill back at Grove Stadium. Yesterday, the Keys had 4,851 fans, and a good crowd is expected again tonight. Overall on the season, the Keys are third in total attendance with 133,113 fans in 36 home dates. That's an average of 3,698. Now it's time for the Manager's Corner segment. Earlier, my colleague Paul Merrill talked to Keys skipper Mike O'Barry about the latest developments with the Keys. Now we send you down to the field to Paul Merrill.
Everybody, and welcome back for another version of the Manager's Corner with Keys skipper Mike O'Barry. Mike, we've talked about this before, and minor league baseball and roster changes go hand in hand, but this year seems to be a little bit more unusual than most. Since opening day, there's been about a 50% turnover in personnel on the Frederick Keys. In other words, only half the players who were here opening day are here now. As a manager, is it difficult for you to establish any kind of continuity with the constant changeover like that?
I don't know if it's tough on me as it is probably tough on the other players on the club, trying to get together and trying to understand what each other can do. They're all constantly learning new players, but that's still part of minor league ball. The players have to try to learn to make that adjustment, because it's going to help. It's going to happen all through their career, especially even through the major leagues, unless you can get on a stable winning club. When you're struggling and you're not producing wins, you're looking to make changes to try to make things better, and that's what's happened here. So you know, they're just getting a taste of what comes in the future when you're trying to put W's in the column.
I noticed in batting practice a couple of roving instructors are here. Why don't you tell us who they are and what their duties are?
Well, we got Denny Walling back in town, who's our hitting instructor, and he's got some work to do, and he's going to be here for about 8 days. And Bobby Dickerson came in, our infield instructor, who's done a good job. You know, I'm pretty pleased with the way our infielders have been playing. So, but he needs to come in and check up on his boys every now and then. And David Joust, who's the minor league field coordinator, has been in town for a couple of days, kind of seeing what was going on and trying to get an understanding. And you know, he's come in and look at some of the younger players. So, you know, we got a lot of people in here. It's getting crowded in our locker room, but you know, we're happy to have them here.
A big acquisition for the Keys, Danny Clyburn, perhaps the big power hitting potential in the Carolina League. Your thoughts on that, and what effect has that had on Tommy Davis? I noticed you're batting Danny behind Tommy and maybe help him get some better pitches to hit.
You know, Danny is a legitimate power hitter, and he should hit some home runs. Right now, I think he's pressing a little bit, trying to make a good impression in a new environment. And so, you know, once he settles in, I think he'll go back to doing what he can do. But I think his presence can help Tommy get a few better pitches to hit, where I think before they were kind of pitching around him a little bit, and Tommy became impatient, and that's when his average started to fall. But Tommy's been getting a few better pitches here lately to hit, just with the fact that they know Danny with one swing can hurt him if Tommy's on base. So it's a good acquisition for us. I think Danny's going to be a quality hitter.
Okay, that's going to wrap up another segment of the Manager's Corner. We'll have more Frederick Keys Cable 10 pregame show with Jeff Walker right after these brief messages. Short.
Pontiac's new Sunfire, your ticket to ride with driving excitement, is available now at Frederick Brothers Pontiac, a family-operated dealership since 1919. Frederick Brothers has a full line of 95s ready for you now, including the Bonneville, among the world's exceptional sports sedans, and the sporty but comfortable Grand Am. Located on 355 just south of Urbana, we'll help you drive excitement in a Firebird, what other sports cars wish they had. A full-service dealership with an award-winning service department and body shop. Frederick Brothers Pontiac.
Get ready.
I'm scared.
Get the best movies. Get the only choice, HBO and Cinemax. Now, get the phone. Call your local cable company now for HBO and Cinemax.
There you see the Prince William Cannons in their dugout. The Frederick Keys will be trying to avoid a sweep tonight, as the Cannons have won the first 2 games of the series, 6-1 on Saturday and 2-0 yesterday. The Cannons have had great pitching in the first 2 games. Chris Clemens got the victory Saturday, allowing just 1 run, and Scott Chrisman and Steve Worrell pitched a shutout yesterday against Frederick. The Keys will try to get the bats going this evening to try to avoid the sweep. The Cannons are from Woodbridge, Virginia. They're affiliated with the Chicago White Sox for their 2nd season. Last year was the 1st season of the affiliation. Their franchise has been in the Carolina League for 12 seasons. Their manager in 1995 is Dave Huppert. This is his 2nd year with Prince William. And overall, in 8 years of minor league managing, he has a .593 winning percentage. Huppert, a former major league catcher with the Orioles and the Milwaukee Brewers, played 2 games in 1983 for the Baltimore Orioles world champion team. In 1994, Huppert led the Cannons to a 71-65 record. They finished in 2nd in the first half of the Carolina League and 3rd in the 2nd half. As you look into the Cannons dugout, Frederick Keys and the Cannons playing tonight in Game 3 of a 3-game series. And now we'll take a look at the Beckley's Camping Center starting lineup for the Prince William Cannons, as they're led by their manager Dave Huppert. Sandy McKinnon will lead it off, and McKinnon is playing in center field for the Prince William Cannons. They haven't hit the ball very well either in this series, but they've put up 8 runs in the 2 games. Jason Goligoski will bat 2nd and play shortstop. It'll be Frank Menachino batting 3rd at 2nd base. Harold Williams bats 4th and is the designated hitter. Joe Durso, who knocked in a run yesterday, bats 5th and is catching today. Juan Thomas bats 6th and is playing first base. Maglio Ordonez is batting 7th and playing in right field. Paul Gonzalez bats 8th and is at third base. And Andre Newhouse is batting ninth and playing left field. Newhouse has had a solo home run in each of the first 2 games of the series. That's a look at your Beckley starting lineup for the Prince William Cannons. Beckley's Camping Center, your full-service RV dealer. Coyote and the Cannons mascot trying to fire their teams up for tonight's game between the Keys and the Cannons. And Paul Merrill, the Keys, as they have all season, have been struggling at the plate lately, hitting just 191 in the second half. And they'd be a pretty good ball club if they could get the bats going. The pitching and the defense has been good, but they just haven't been able to hit the ball very well.
Better and better and better as the season wore on. It was a very young staff, and so that was sort of to be expected. Their ERA, they've gotten their ERA down to from somewhere over 5 down to a respectable 4.63. Now that's last, but it's a lot better than what it was. And so they are making improvement in the area, but the hitting has just absolutely been atrocious. And against the Cannons this season, that's the one club that the Keys have really struggled against, as you alluded to in the pregame show, as a team only batting 157 against this Cannons pitching staff. So they definitely will have their hands full tonight.
And there's Matt Marenghi, the starting pitcher tonight. Marenghi has pitched pretty well as of late. In his last outing on June the 28th, he pitched 5 innings, allowing 7 hits and 1 run against Kinston. He walked 2 in that game and struck out 5, and the right-hander Marenghi will be making his 15th start of the season tonight, but has a bad record so far on the season, and mostly because the Keys bats have been very sluggish.
Well, he's sort of been up and down. He had a real he struggled in April, had a great month of May, and then struggled again in June. So maybe he's on the upswing again here in July. But the thing that's unusual about Marenghi is that he's given up as many hits as innings pitched, and that's usually the benchmark that you look at. If if you're giving up as many, in other words, he's pitched in 76 innings, he's given up 76 hits. Anything equal to or less than that is pretty good, and he's done that. What he hasn't done well is he's had a lot of walks and he's given up the long ball, and that's why his ERA is so high, Jeff.
You see a look at Matt Marenghi, pitched his college ball at Stanford University, one of several players in the Orioles organization who went to college at Stanford University. And tonight's starting pitcher for the Orioles, Mike Mussina, also attended that college. It'll be Marenghi against Rich Pratt, a left-handed thrower for the Prince William Cannons. And Rich Pratt has struggled this year. He also has a 2-8 record, but pitched a no-hitter against Frederick in May.
That's exactly right. He like the other Prince William pitchers, have had a lot of success against the Keys. I remember earlier in the year on a Cable 10 broadcast, he threw a real fine ball game against the Keys. So despite his 2-8 record, he has had a lot of success against this Frederick Keys ball club.
The Keys have had some new additions. Chris Lemp, who was promoted to Rochester on June the 23rd, pitched in 3 games up at Rochester, is now back with the Frederick Keys. I know Mike O'Barry is happy to have his closer back, so if the Keys can keep the games close, Chris Lemp can close it out. Didn't allow a run, I don't believe, in his last 9 appearances or so here for the Frederick Keys.
Right. And while we got a minute, Jeff, while we're waiting for the Keys to take the field, I'd like to extend our best wishes to George Bell as the Keys do take the field. George Bell is the clubhouse manager for the Keys, and he's getting ready to go into the hospital for some minor surgery, and we certainly wish George the best of luck. He's sort of been a landmark around Frederick Keys over the years here. Not many of you get to know him, but he's the clubhouse manager. He's the one that keeps the Keys shoes shining nice and bright.
George does a fine job, and our best wishes to him. Now it's time for our national anthem as we get set for tonight's game. Mike Gibbons will sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Michael Gibbons singing the national anthem as we get set for action between the Keys and the Cannons. The Cannons have won the first 2 games of this series and have won 6 of 8 games played between the 2 teams so far in 1995. Frederick has lost 4 of its last 6 games. They split a 4-game series with the Kinston Indians, Paul, and that's a good sign because the Indians have the top team in the Carolina League but have struggled here against the Cannons without the good fortunes of a good offensive attack. But the Keys will try to get the hitting going this evening, and it'll be a tough task as they'll go against left-handed pitcher Rich Pratt. Matt Marenghi on the mound for Frederick, and here's the defense behind him.
All right, Jeff, in left field will be Harry Berrios. The center fielder once again tonight, Rolando Avila. The right fielder is Trovan Valdez. First base tonight will be Jeff Michael. Over at second will be Jesse Garcia, his partner at shortstop, David Lamb. The third baseman tonight, Tommy Davis. Doing the catching, Jim Foster. And on the mound once again, Matt Marenghi, 2-8 with a 5.28 earned run average. Matt is a 6'2", 185-pound right-hander. He's 22 years old, and he hails from Las Vegas, Nevada. And this is only his second year of professional baseball. As you take a look at Matt going through his warm-up paces, we can look to see Matt have a variety of pitches, including a fastball, a curveball, a changeup, and an occasional forkball. And he leads the team in sideburns, as you can see right there on your screen. Great sideburns, the Brady Anderson look. You know,
I know,
like
2-1-0, Marenghi. The umpires tonight, Stuart Robertson behind the plate, and on the bases it's Mike Billings. As the Keys will try to get back on the winning track with Matt Marenghi on the hill. Marenghi last appeared on June the 28th. He's pitched in 2 games so far in 1995 against this Prince William ball club, and he hasn't fared very well. A 7.94 earned run average, and Marenghi was a loser in one of those games, 0-1 against the Cannons in 1995. Leading off for Prince William, it'll be Sandy McKinnon. McKinnon, a .242 hitter, and has knocked in 12 runs.
Well, another interesting note about Matt Marenghi is he is yet to win a ball game here at home. I'm sure he'd like to get that one under his belt here tonight in front of a very fine crowd here on 4th of July weekend.
McKinnon steps in. He's 1 for 9 in the series. And the first pitch is a called strike from Marenghi. McKinnon was 0 for 5 Saturday and 1 for 4 yesterday. He was the 12th round draft pick of the White Sox in 1993. Played his college ball at Middle Georgia Junior College. Grounds it foul. So Marenghi quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
I believe Middle Georgia may have won the Junior College World Series this year. If they didn't win it, they were at least, I know they were at least in the World Series. Very powerful program that he came out of down there.
McKinnon possesses a lot of speed. 36 steals last year at South Bend.
Well, the Cannons Ball Club isn't a base stealing ball club. In fact, they're second in the last in the Carolina League in stolen base attempts. But Sandy McKinnon is their one bright hope for stealing a base.
16 steals in 1995 in 23 attempts. A 1-2 pitch. Good off-speed stuff from Marenghi, and he gets the strikeout. So 1 out in the top of the first inning as McKinnon strikes out. Jason Goligoski, the shortstop, comes up to the plate. Goligoski batting .216 all the year in 59 games. No home runs and 17 runs batted in. Goligoski, a left-handed swinger. Takes a pitch for a ball.
Nice socks, huh? More and more players are going to that style where you don't even see any white at all under the stirrups. You can see Golagowski with nothing but black there and socks. I call it the Jesus Alou look. Years ago when Jesus Alou used to play for the Giants, that's how he did it. There you see it right there. One of the reasons players do that, Jeff, is it gives the umpire the appearance that his strike zone is higher. His knees are higher than what you might think if his pants were rolled all the way down.
Rounded to the right side and foul. So the count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Jason Golagowski. Golagowski did not play in Saturday's game, but did appear yesterday and was 1 for 4. Keys have had very good pitching as of late. At Marenghi. Behind in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out in the first. Inside once again, 3-1 to Golagowski.
Golagowski has had some success against Keys pitching this year, going 4 for 13 for a 308 average, and he's got a good pitch to hit right here.
And he lines it to the left side. Left fielder Berrios back, still going back. Has to play it off the wall. Golagowski will cruise into second base with a 2-bagger as Berrios throws to the cutoff man. And a 1-out base runner at second base as Jason Golagowski gets a 2-bagger. So a good pitch to hit, as Paul Merrill mentioned. And he drove it to the gap in left center.
Well, here it is here. He's not really known as a power hitter. He's up on the handle a little bit. He just takes that fastball and drives it to the opposite field. It's slicing a little bit. You can see Harry Berrios trying to make an adjustment right now, but he can't get back there in time. And as you mentioned, a stand-up double, and right away the Cannons have a runner in scoring position.
That brings up Frank Menechino. Menechino 1 for 5 in the series, but has scored 3 of the 8 Cannons runs scored. And he takes a strike. Good fastball from Marenghi. Golagowski at second base with 1 out in the top of the first. No score.
Well, Matt Marenghi, excuse me, Jeff, much like Rich Pratt, the Cannons pitchers tonight, are both pitchers that are what you might call they finesse pitchers. There's a pickoff attempt at second. They've got to throw strikes. They've got to be able to paint the black, so to speak. Last year, Matt Marenghi did that down at Bluefield. In 65 innings last year in Bluefield, he only walked 15 batters. Now that's only 2 batters in a 9-inning game. That's very good. This year he's struggling with his control, as you heard Michael Berry say on our pregame show. He's averaging 3.5 walks in a 9-inning ball game.
The 0-1 pitch, line, shortstop Lamb can't make the play. Golagowski being waved home. Here's the throw, and Golagowski scores the first run of the game on the line drive hit by Frank Menechino. Menechino holds up at first base. And the Cannons have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, boy, lightning has struck already here in the first inning. Key's a little bit confused on the cutoff assignment here. It's a curveball breaking down. It's not that bad a pitch by Marenghi. You can see the runner doing a nice job of holding up, making sure the line drive gets through. Now, Harry Berrios throws the ball in, but Tommy Davis, the third baseman, isn't sure if he should be the cutoff man or a first baseman. Jeff Michael should be the cutoff man. And there you can see Tommy just now coming into the picture. Generally speaking, anything from left center field on over to right, it'll be the first baseman coming across to be the cutoff man. And I think Tommy Davis was maybe expecting Jeff Michael to do that, and then at the last minute realized that Jeff wasn't coming, so he decided to be the cutoff man.
So the Cannons have a 1-0 lead. Still a base runner at first base, and only 1 out in the first. Cleanup hitter Harold Williams takes a strike 1. Williams batting .278 with 9 home runs and 42 runs batted in. Good power hitter for the Cannons team. Throw back to first. And Menechino is back safely. Menechino, who got that line drive base hit, was selected in the 45th round in the June 1993 draft. He's been quite a surprise for the White Sox organization. The pitch is high for a ball. The count even at 1-1.
Well, Harold Williams, I think, is one of the better hitters in the Carolina League. I don't think he's got the notoriety that some of the other players are, but this guy hits bombs. I was watching him in batting practice, and I mean, he was hitting the ball off the third deck with a third row of signs. I mean, he is a fearsome hitter. He's a big man, as you can see on your screen.
Pitch is outside once again. It's 2-1. Last year with Hickory, Williams had 24 home runs and 104 runs batted in. The 104 RBI led the league. Menachino at first. And a throw over that way. Jeff Michael playing at first base for the second straight game. Usually plays first base against left-handed pitchers.
Oh, got him leaning a little bit there, Jeff, and didn't get the call, but a little bit fooled by that pickoff attempt.
Michael holding with the runner, Frank Menachino. One out in the first. The Cannons already have a run home with 2 base hits. Marenghi's 2-1 pitch coming. Grounded to second, Jesse Garcia. To land for 1, back to Michael, double play. Matt Marenghi got the ball hit right where he wanted it to be hit. Right at the second baseman, Jesse Garcia, who turns the double play. At the end of a half inning, the Cannons have a 1-0 lead. Jason Goligoski got a double after Sandy McKinnon, the leadoff batter, struck out. And then Frank Menachino had a line single to left to give the Cannons their 1-0 lead. There's a contest going on here this evening at Grove Stadium. Paul, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, one of the local furniture stores is having a promotion, and they're giving away a free recliner. There have been 3 people, they had a drawing, and 3 people were picked out of that drawing. What they got to do is they got to cheer during the game, and they're out there in the left field. There's a couch set up for them out there and a lamp, so they'll feel right at home, and they'll have to do a little cheering, and whoever does the best job of cheerleading, there you see it right there, whoever does the best job of cheerleading will win that recliner.
Do they cheer alone, or do they try to get the rest of the fans in?
Well, I think they're trying to get the fans involved, but it's awfully tough. Way out there in left field, you can see they're holding up signs and trying to spell out, I guess, keys.
We can hear them here in the booth, can't we?
Sure.
Gina Little and Laura Springer, 2 members of the Keys front office, out there leading the cheers right now. And now we'll take a look at the Keys batting lineup. Leading off is the right fielder, Trovin Valdez. Batting in the number 2 spot, playing center field, Rolando Avila. Batting third is the third baseman, Tommy Davis. Batting cleanup is the designated hitter, Danny Clyburn. Batting in the number 5 spot is catcher Jim Foster. Batting 6th is the left fielder, Harry Barrios. Batting 7th and playing at first base is Jeff Michael. Batting in the number 8 slot is the second baseman, Jesse Garcia. And batting 9th for the Keys this evening is shortstop David Lamb. That's your Beckley's Camping Center starting lineup. Beckley's Camping Center, your full-service RV dealer. And the Keys hitters will go against that man, Rich Pratt, a left-hander who has a 2-8 record on the year, but no hit the Keys back on May the 19th in Game 2 of a doubleheader, a 7-inning game. Pratt allowed no base hits, no runs, no walks, struck out 5. It'll be tough for the Keys hitters tonight, Paul.
You bet, and Rich Pratt will have this defense aligned behind him. In the outfield, beginning on the left, will be Andre Newhouse. The center fielder is the speedy Sandy McKinnon. Over in right field, Maglio Ordonez. The first baseman tonight, Juan Thomas. Over at second base, it'll be Frank Menachino. The shortstop, Jason Goligoski, and we'll get to the rest of them right after this pitch.
Valdez takes the ball, or a strike, called on the inside part of the plate.
The third baseman is Paul Gonzalez, the catcher Joe Durso, and once again Rich Pratt, 2-8 with a 3.96 earned run average, is on the mound.
Valdez hits it high in the air to the right side. First baseman Juan Thomas and the catcher, and they collide and drop the ball. Thomas and Durso had a little collision over there in foul territory near the fungo circle, and they drop the ball, so Valdez is still alive.
Yeah, and you saw them talking with each other right there after the ball fell, and I guarantee you they weren't talking about their 4th of July picnic coming up. They're talking about who is supposed to take this ball. Now you're going to see the catcher Durso call it right there, but first baseman is also calling it. You can see him waving his hand, and a first baseman has precedence over the catcher. So in my estimation, this is Durso's fault for not giving way to the first baseman, Juan Thomas.
A ball high. The count 1-2 to Trovin Valdez. The Keys trail 1-0. We're playing in the bottom of the first inning. Fouled off by Valdez. The count continues 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trovin played in Saturday's game and was 0 for 3 and scored a run. Had yesterday off.
And in case you're wondering, an error is charged on that foul pop-up And that is why there has been an error recorded on the board out in the outfield. That pitch is outside. A lot of people don't realize that you can have an error charged on a foul ball.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Trovan Valdez. He has scored the only run against the Cannons in this 2-game series so far, and he strikes out. So the error is not costly for Prince William after the first baseman Juan Thomas and Joe Durso had a collision with their gloves in foul territory, allowing Valdez to continue his at-bat. But Trovan goes down with a strikeout. Rolando Avila, the center fielder, comes up to the plate.
Well, in Valdez and Avila, I think the Keys have probably the fastest 1-2 punch in the Carolina League. Of course, they got to get on base to make things happen.
Avila batting just .230 on the season. Has an on-base percentage of .305. As Paul mentioned, they've got to get on base. But when they do, they can be very exciting. Avila looked to butt and takes a strike. The count is even at 1-1. Avila had 19 steals for High Desert before coming to the Keys, and with Frederick, he's got 4 steals in 5 attempts. High Desert, the Orioles' other Class A organization out in California, in the California League. Albany was the Orioles' other Class A team last year. Kane County the year before. Kane County in Geneva, Illinois. 2-1 pitch to Avila. Takes low, ball 3. On to head in the count 3-1. He's hitless in the series. 0 for 8 against Cannons pitching. On deck is Tommy Davis. Strike 2 called, so the count is now full.
Like Avila was taking all the way on that 3-1 pitch. If you're a fielder for the Cannons, you love playing behind Rich Pratt. He works very quickly, and of course defensemen just absolutely love that because it keeps you in the game a lot better.
Out off. Count remains full. Good crowd here tonight at Harry Grove Stadium. The final game of a 3-game series between these two teams. The Cannons have won the first 2. Avila playing in his 22nd game for Frederick. Fouls it off to the right side. In 52 games at High Desert, Avila batted .239. Had 2 home runs and 10 runs knocked in. With Frederick, no home runs and 4 runs batted in.
I'd like to see him bunt a little bit more. Now, he did show bunt in this at bat, but I think he needs to learn how to bunt a little bit more.
Fouled off once again. Avila has played great defensively in 1995. We've seen him make some spectacular catches patrolling the center field area.
No doubt about that.
A 3-2 pitch. Grounded to the left side. Good glove work by Gonzalez, the third baseman. He had to hurry and throws in time to Juan Thomas. So there are now 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And Tommy Davis comes up to the plate. Davis has been one of the Keys' top hitters all season. Hitting .275.
Well, just about everybody in the Keys lineup is in a slump right now, but one guy who's not is Tommy Davis, who's starting to come on again with the addition of Clyburn in the lineup. And of course, when Clyburn gets the hit, I think Tommy Davis will really start to take off as well.
First pitch is taken inside. Davis had 2 of the 3 Keys hits yesterday. 1 a double and 1 a single. He also had a stolen base. Angel Pagan, who was playing at second base yesterday, had the 3rd Keys hit as they were unable to score. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. A healthy cut by Tommy Davis. You mentioned the addition of Danny Clyburn from the Reds organization in the Brad Pennington trade has seemed to have helped Tommy Davis so far. I believe he has 3 home runs since the arrival of Clyburn. Davis had been struggling prior to Danny Clyburn joining the Keys. A ball taken in the dirt. 2-1 to Tommy Davis.
Like that was a split finger or a fork ball, and that's often what happens. The ball will just kind of bottom out and dive into the dirt. Yeah, I think Clyburn, once he gets, as Michael Berry said, once he gets used to his new surroundings and gets acclimated here in Frederick, I mean, he's one of the most feared hitters in the league, and he's definitely going to help his ball club offensively. But we got to get him going, and we got to get Harry Barrios going. That ball's dribbled foul.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Davis. He was in the league leaders in several offensive categories. 4th in the league with 84 hits. He has 18 doubles, which also ranks 4th. 32 extra base hits overall. That ranks 2nd. And 13 home runs for Tommy. Count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Davis attended Southern Mississippi University, where he clubbed 43 home runs in 3 seasons. He was the Orioles' top pick in last June's draft. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Davis goes down, and Rich Pratt gets the Keys 1-2-3 in the first. After 1 complete, it's Prince William 1. The Keys nothing. We'll be back after these messages.
Coors Light, the silver bullet. It's shipped cold to preserve the clean taste of the Rockies.
Celebrating our people, our homeland, our heritage.
Reflecting our days, our past, our present.
Highlighting the beauty of our land, our open spaces, our architecture.
It is Hello Frederick County, a decade of tribute to the people and places that make Frederick County such a great place to be.
It is Hello Frederick County, the area's premier good news event, celebrating life and living in Frederick.
It is Hello Frederick County, only in the July 18th edition of the Frederick News Post.
At Marenghi, and the Keys trail the Cannons 1-0 as we head to the top of the 2nd inning. The Keys were helped out in that first inning on a double play ground ball hit by the cleanup hitter Harold Williams. With a runner aboard and a run already home and only 1 out, Harold Williams grounded out to Jesse Garcia, who started the double play. Pretty good weather here this evening at Marenghi on the hill for Frederick, looking for his 3rd win of the year, making his 15th start. For the Cannons in the 2nd inning, it'll be Joe Durso, Juan Thomas, and Maglio Ordonez, the number 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the Cannons lineup. Prince William ranks 7th in the league in hitting with a .251 team batting average.
Yeah, but they're still 20 points higher or so than the Keys, even though they're 2nd from the last.
First pitch to Joe Durso is taken outside for a ball. Their top hitter, Jeff Abbott, was promoted.
Thank goodness.
Just about 10 days ago. Abbott still has the highest average in the Carolina League. He was promoted to Double-A Birmingham on June the 23rd. And a fly ball to the right side. First baseman Michael on the catcher. Now the catcher Jim Foster is under it, makes the catch. So 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning. Jim Foster, a very good defensive catcher. Bring up Juan Thomas, the first baseman. Thomas has had a pretty good series with the bat, 2 for 6. He scored 2 runs and knocked in 1. He had a home run on Saturday off Rashad Stewart in the 2nd inning.
Well, you know, Jeff, if you walked in off the street, the curveball just misses. If you walked in off the street and heard Thomas announced for this White Sox minor league team, you might get excited thinking it was Frank. I mean, he kind of looks like him a little bit.
He sure does.
But this is Juan Thomas, folks, not the big hurt.
And it hits like Frank Thomas as well. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1. Thomas, Juan Thomas, that is, 11 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Another power hitter for the Cannons. Takes a ball high, 2-1 to Juan Thomas. On deck, Maglio Ordonez. Fouled off to the right side. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out in the top of the second inning. The Cannons have a 1-0 lead over the Keys. Frank Menachino had an RBI single in the first. Jason Goligoski scored the run after he doubled. A good-looking pitch by Marenghi, but just missed. The count is full, 3-2.
Oh, you saw him. He was upset. And I don't know if he was upset with the umpire that he didn't get the call or if he was upset with himself.
A long drive and a high drive to left. Berrios back up against the fence. It's gone. Juan Thomas with a prodigious blast to left field to give the Cannons a 2-0 lead. He got all of that one.
He did a little cloud seeding with this shot, Jeff. This ball was a monster home run, as high as it was far, and it had the two ladies out there for the furniture promotion a little bit scared, because if that hadn't cleared the wall, it was right in there, going to be right in their lap.
Home run number 12 for Juan Thomas, his second of this series. As you watch it again,
you can see all the Keys infielders, they're just turning around and enjoying it. Boy, what a blast that was.
Maglio Ordonez is the batter. Takes a strike on the outside part of the plate.
Well, that's the 12th home run given up by Matt Marenghi, which is does lead the Keys and is also among the leaders in the Carolina League for home runs allowed. And you heard Michael Berry, we were talking about that earlier. It's just that he's got to get his...
Ripped to left. And a foul ball. Ordonez almost had an extra base hit. Just missed, as it was just outside the line, down in left field. The Cannons making pretty good contact against Matt Marenghi this evening.
Yeah, even the double play ball that he served up was well hit, and it just happened to be right at second baseman Garcia. So not really fooling too many of the Cannons hitters at this point in time. I think they're sitting on his fastball. He's struggling with that curveball, and he's got to get that over for strikes.
Grounded foul. The count continues 0-2. Maglio Ordonez from Coro Falcon, Venezuela. Signed by the White Sox as a free agent. Bouncer up the middle. Second baseman Garcia throws to Michael in time. And that's out number 2 here in the second inning. Number 8 hitter in the lineup comes to the plate, Paul Gonzalez. Gonzalez played in each of the first 2 games. He's 1 for 8 in the series with an RBI. And an RBI single in Saturday's game. First pitch from Marenghi is taken for a ball. Gonzalez, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. Left-handed swinger. Swing and a miss.
Good looking pitch right there. Is either took a little bit more off his curveball or it was a changeup. Good looking pitch.
Gonzalez batting .230 on the year with 2 home runs and 15 runs knocked in. Outside, the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs in the top of the second. The Cannons have scored single runs in each inning and lead 2-0 over the Keys. 2-1 grounded up the middle. David Lamb behind the bag at second makes the pickup and good throw to first to retire the Cannons in the top of the second inning. And another run on the board for Prince William as Juan Thomas blasted a solo home run to left at the end of an inning and a half. It's the Cannons 2 and the Keys nothing.
Nobody has what Tate has, no sir. Nobody has what Tate has.
Stop by Tate today and check out the full line of Chrysler Plymouth vehicles, including the 1995 Chrysler Sebring. This is luxury, but luxury accented by sportiness. Tate also has the all-new 1996 line of minivans, establishing new standards by which all others in their category will be judged in the decade to come. Tate Chrysler Plymouth on Route 85 in Frederick.
At the Discovery Channel, we go to extraordinary lengths to tell extraordinary stories. Stories that take you off the beaten path. So if we see it, you see it. The Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
Your business can be part of the exciting world of Discovery. Call Frederick Cablevision Advertising today.
Keys trying to get something going offensively as they trail the Cannons 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Rich Pratt is on the hill for the Cannons, and he had a pretty good first inning with 2 strikeouts. He struck out Trovan Valdez to begin the game, got Rolando Avila to ground out to third, and then struck out Tommy Davis to end the inning. Pratt will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the Keys lineup. That means Danny Clyburn, Jim Foster, and Harry Barrios.
Well, Pratt's earned run average last year down at Hickory, I believe it was, which was 2.02, was good enough to lead the entire White Sox minor league organization. So he's a real prospect, though he's struggling a little bit this year. He has had his moments, and Jeff mentioned the no-hitter that he threw against the Keys earlier.
Danny Clyburn takes a ball inside. Clyburn batting just 185. No home runs yet for the Keys, but had 11 for Winston-Salem. Fouls it off, 1 ball and 1 strike. Clyburn came over to the Orioles organization in the Brad Pennington trade. Clyburn and pitcher Tony Nieto came to the O's in exchange for the left-handed pitcher Pennington. Off-speed stuff misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Danny Clyburn.
Clyburn was originally drafted in the Pirates organization, Jeff, and so he's seeing his 3rd organization in his very short minor league career.
Grounded to third and just fouled, just outside the bag at third. Paul, you mentioned his 3rd organization. That's since October the 13th. He was traded to the Reds organization from the Pirates in exchange for Jacob Brumfield.
And what kind of message does that send you, Jeff? If people saying that they don't like this guy, or are they saying they like this guy and that's why he's being traded a lot? That's a hard read. How do you read into that?
He's got a lot of power. 22 home runs last year, playing for Salem. This year, 11 dingers with Winston-Salem. Also knocked in 90 runs in 1994. The 2-2 pitch. Clyburn takes outside, so the count is full.
Well, I was a little surprised to see the Orioles opt for Clyburn because he is an outfielder, and that's probably the one strength in the organization that the Orioles do have is quality outfielders. But nonetheless, we're glad he's here. I think he's going to be an exciting player to watch.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Danny Clyburn. He's 1 for 7 in the series. Had a double on Saturday. Steps out. Keys have just 5 hits in this series in the first 2 games. And a pop-up behind second base. Menachino back. He can't make the play. So Danny Clyburn is on with a base hit. And the Keys have their first hit of the game after Rich Pratt retired the side in order in the first. Clyburn is aboard to lead off the second.
Yeah, it's a little Texas leaguer, but sometimes little Texas leaguer kind of get things rolling for you. Anything to break up this offensive problem that the Keys are having. So they got a base runner on and nobody out. Maybe they can make something out of this.
Team's best hitter at the plate, Jim Foster. He's batting .286 on the year. Foster swings at the first pitch. Hits it sky high to the left side. Third baseman Paul Gonzalez is under it, makes the play. And Gonzalez made sure the shortstop Jason Goligoski knew that it was his play all the way, waving everybody off. So 1 out, Clyburn still aboard at first base. And Harry Barrios to the plate. Barrios hitless in the series, 0 for 6. As you just saw on your screen, batting just 186 for Frederick in 1995. Barrios with a check swing, and it's a strike called. So he's behind in the count 0-1. Berrios has 6 home runs and 16 runs batted in.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the Keys could get Harry Berrios and Danny Clyburn on track, they would have a very potent offense to go along with Tommy Davis and Jimmy Fox. That'd be 4 quality hitters in their lineup. But we all know the story with Harry this year, the World's Minor League Player of the Year last year. He's just not been able to put it together. He's striking out more than he has ever struck out. Every one strikeout for every 3 at-bats, which is just really horrendous. And Harry just is struggling to get his stroke back right now as the curveball's in for a strike.
Berrios behind in the count, 0-2.
That 1 strikeout for every 3 at-bats does lead the Keys team as far as that ratio goes, and it's something he certainly isn't proud of and is striving to improve upon.
Berrios fouls off the pitch, so the count continues 0-2. He started the year with the Bowie Bay Sox. He batted .186. That's his current average now with the Keys. He had 2 home runs with Bowie and 11 runs batted in.
Well, he's had 6 home runs here with the Keys, and that is the one bright spot. Of his 26 hits, 6 of them have been for the long ball.
The 0-2 pitch coming, swing and a miss. Another good curveball by Rich Pratt. That's strikeout number 3 for Pratt, and 2 are out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And Jeff Michael comes to the plate. Michael did not play Saturday and was 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. Very gutty, aggressive player is Jeff Michael. Plays several different positions. Mike O'Berry uses him against left-handed pitchers. He's played 5 games at second base, 6 at third, 7 at shortstop. He's appeared 3 times as the designated hitter, and this is his 3rd start at first base. As Pratt goes to first base, Clyburn holding.
Well, you may be wondering why they're even fooling with throws over to first to Clyburn. For a big man, Danny does run fairly well. Now he's not a great base stealer, but he does run well, so you do have to keep an eye on him.
And a strike called to Jeff Michael. Danny Clyburn with 4 steals on the year. 4 steals in 10 attempts. Keys trail 2-0 in the bottom of the 2nd with 2 outs. Throw back to first, and they picked him off. Clyburn caught leaning towards second base, is picked off by Rich Pratt, and that ends the 2nd inning. So the Keys get no runs, but they do get their first hit of the game. At the end of 2, it's Prince William 2, Frederick 0, as you see Danny Clyburn get picked off at first.
We're putting our energy into your community. We're Frederick Gas, providing natural and propane gas service throughout Frederick County. Frederick Gas serves many older and new communities. Highly efficient gas appliances can be purchased and paid for on your monthly bill. For more information about using gas in your home, contact Frederick Gas, 662-2151. Gas is your best energy value.
In the market for a new home? Thinking about selling yours? Tune in to Cable Marketplace now on Channel 30. From starters to estates, you can view the area's finest homes and properties 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Each property shows over 80 times a week, and new ones are being added daily. See this exciting showcase of homes and get to know the real estate professionals who bring them to you. Cable Marketplace, Channel 30.
There's Quixote, the Keys mascot, trying to cheer on the Keys. Get some runs out of that ball club as they trail 2-0 to the Prince William Cannons as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. Very good crowd here tonight at Grove Stadium for the final game of a 3-game series between the Keys and the Cannons. And Andre Newhouse, the number 9 batter, will come up to the plate against Matt Marenghi to begin the 3rd inning. And Newhouse is 2 for 7 in the series. He scored twice and knocked in 2 runs. 2 solo home runs. Hit one Saturday in the 9th inning off Joey Dawley. And then another solo shot yesterday against Carlos Chavez in the 7th inning.
Yeah, and that's his total home run output for the year. 2. They've both come against this ball club and just in this series.
Newhouse batting just .214 on the year. Grounds it foul down the third base side. Look at the Cannons bullpen. And now Andre Newhouse, the left fielder. A line drive to the right side. Valdez, the right fielder, has it measured and makes the catch. One quick out here in the top of the 3rd inning as Trovan Valdez makes the good defensive play. And the top of the order is now coming up for Prince William, and that means Sandy McKinnon. Marenghi struck him out to begin the ball game in the 1st inning. McKinnon takes the ball outside, and the crowd starting to come to life here at Grove Stadium. Those folks out in left field are doing a pretty good job. Strike on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sandy McKinnon. McKinnon, the leadoff batter, with just a .293 on base percentage. Lines it to the left side and a base hit. Hit number 4 on the board for the Cannons.
Well, Matt threw a fork ball up there that didn't fork, I guess, and take a look at it. You can see the grip in his glove right there. It's a fork ball. It does go down pretty good, but Sandy McKinnon is right on it. A good piece of hitting by McKinnon, and he gets things started here in the top half of the 3rd with a base hit.
So with 1 out, Sandy McKinnon is aboard. And here's Jason Goligoski. Goligoski doubled in the 1st and scored the Cannons' 1st run of the game. Ball 1 inside. McKinnon, who is at first base, possesses a lot of speed.
As we mentioned, he's their one base stealing threat. I think it's 16 on the year, and that's pretty good.
16 of 23 in 1995. He had 36 last year. Good pickoff move by Marenghi.
Yeah, good balk move, and you can see there, you see the coaches right there. This is a great balk move that you can get away with the 2-man system, and both the coaches are looking down at the home plate umpire, Stuart Robertson, asking for the balk call. But that was a great balk move. You can see it. He jerked his shoulder towards 3rd and then quickly went back to 1st. He got away with it.
Goligoski fouls off the pitch to the left side. The count even at 1-1. Sandy McKinnon, 73 stolen bases in his career. This is his 3rd year of professional baseball. 36 last year at South Bend. 21 in 1993, playing for Sarasota and Hickory. 1 ball and 1 strike to Goligoski. Time is out as Goligoski steps out. 2 runs and 4 hits on the board for the Cannons. They have 1 error. The Keys, no runs and 1 base hit. Outside, ball 2.
Well, this is a pretty good pitch to run on. Let's keep our eye on Mr. McKinnon over at first base. See if the Cannons try a little hit and run action here. You can see Foster looking into the dugout. Don't think they'll pitch out with a 2-1 count.
Throw back to first. McKinnon is back safely.
Now what's interesting, Jeff, here is the Keys may elect to change up their coverage at second base. Normally it would be David Lamb covering with the left-hand hitting Goligoski up here, but let's watch and see if Jesse Garcia doesn't cover should McKinnon steal. And the Keys may try to cross up the opposition here on a potential hit and run situation.
McKinnon doesn't run, and the pitch is taken outside and high for ball 3. And Larry McCall, the Keys pitching coach, will make a visit to the mound. Jim Foster also heads to the hill to talk to pitcher Matt Marenghi. balls and 1 strike is the count. There's 1 out in the top of the 3rd. The Cannons ahead 2-0. They scored a run in the 1st on a double by the current batter now, Golagowski. He scored on a single by Frank Menachino. Juan Thomas gave them run number 2 in the 2nd with a solo home run.
You got to believe that McKinnon is running right here. This is just a great pitch to go on. You got ball 4 to protect him. You got a contact hitter at the plate. You can see he's up on the handle, so you know he's going to probably make contact.
Doesn't run, and the pitch is fouled off.
I'm really amazed at that.
He'll probably run on this pitch as the count is full. Only 1 out.
Now, it's possible McKinnon is a green light. He may elect to go on his own. He just may not feel like he's got a good read on Marenghi.
There goes the runner. The pitch is taken for a ball 4. So now the Cannons have 2 aboard with 1 out. As McKinnon advances to 2nd. Golagowski is aboard on the bases on ball. Number 3 hitter Frank Menachino to the plate. He knocked in the Cannons' first run with a line single to left in the 1st inning. David Lamb made a good effort to try to snare the line drive by Menachino. Just couldn't get it. Marenghi looking at the runner at 2nd base, McKinnon, and throws that way. Jesse Garcia there to take the throw. Inside for a ball. That last pitch, McKinnon, who was at 2nd base, actually bluffed like he was headed for 3rd. And retreated to the bag. Ball 2. Marenghi getting behind the hitters in this inning.
Yeah, and a nervous manager O'Berry is up and pacing in the dugout. He's probably going to ask somebody to get loose in the bullpen. He's not real happy with the way things are going right now.
Marenghi has allowed 4 base hits and has walked 1.
Now you can see first baseman Jeff Michael. He's coming into the mound to talk to Marenghi. Now what happened there is O'Berry went down to the end of the dugout, yelled out to his first baseman instructions to go to the pitcher with. Now that technically could be called a trip to the mound, because you're not supposed to talk to your defense and have them go talk to the pitcher. But manager Barry knows how the ins and outs. He knows how to get around it, and so his message has been relayed to the pitcher without being charged for a trip.
2 balls and no strikes to Menachino, and he hits it to the left side again. Tommy Davis to Garcia for 1. Back to Michael. Double play. So the Keys get their 2nd DP of the game to erase the Cannons runner. And also get the batter and get out of a jam. After 2.5, it continues 2-0. Prince William leading Frederick. Watch the replay once again.
It's camping season and time to visit Beckley's Camping Center, 12 miles north of Frederick, and check out our complete line of brand new Newmar motorhomes. Camp in the luxurious comfort of one of Newmar's plush RVs, complete with a slide-out room. While you're on the road, your RV is 8 feet wide, and when you set up camp, just push a button and slide out the room for an extra 3 feet of comfort and space with this latest feature in Newmar RV innovation. It's not just a motorhome anymore. Call Beckley's Camping Center today or stop by and see for yourself.
You won't get your hands on a QVC product until we get our hands on it. Some people say we're tough.
Very tough.
This is the drop test, where we make sure a product will hold up during shipping.
These have to be rewritten.
We stand behind everything we sell, so if somebody returns a product because they don't like the color or something like that,
Perfection.
that's okay.
I just don't want them to have to return it. Because it doesn't work.
Is that Will over there?
All right, as we return to Harry Grove Stadium, the lights are on, and we want to remind you that tonight's Frederick Keys baseball telecast is a copywritten presentation of Frederick Cablevision Incorporated and is presented for the enjoyment of our viewers in Frederick County, Maryland, and Jefferson County, West Virginia. Any use of this program without the written permission of Frederick Cablevision Incorporated is a violation of copyright laws and is strictly prohibited.
The Cannons have a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the bottom of the Keys order. The 7, 8, 9 hitters Jeff Michael, Jesse Garcia, and David Lamb against left-handed pitcher Rich Pratt. Pratt earlier this season pitched a no-hitter against Frederick. The Keys have one base hit in the first 2 innings off of Pratt. There's a single last inning by Danny Clyburn. Jeff Michael takes the first pitch inside for a ball. Michael played in yesterday's game and was 0 for 3. He was at the plate last inning when Danny Clyburn was picked off at first. Ground ball to third. Gonzalez. The throw over to Thomas. 1 out here in the bottom of the third.
Well, Jeff, remember I mentioned O'Barry going down and yelling instructions to first baseman. Our first base cameraman down there did a nice job of eavesdropping, and we can relate to you exactly what Michael Berry told Jeff Michael to tell the pitcher, and he told him concentrate and get a ground ball, and lo and behold, he didn't get a double play ball. So Matt Marenghi listening to his skipper's words of wisdom, and he comes through with a double play ball.
2 double plays executed by the Keys defense this evening. One of them started by this guy, Jesse Garcia. Garcia takes a strike. Played in Saturday's game and was 0 for 3. Had the day off yesterday as Angel Pagan was in the lineup at second base. Garcia swings and misses. It's 0-2.
Well, Jesse is batting .200 against Prince William pitching, and believe it or not, Jeff, he leads the team in hitting against Prince William with that hefty .200 batting average. That just goes to show you how much his Keys staff team has struggled against his Prince William staff.
Garcia takes the pitch high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As a team, the Keys coming into this game batting just .157 against the Cannons. They've scored only 11 runs in 8 games. Just missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jesse Garcia. Garcia from Robstown, Texas. It was the Orioles' 26th round selection in the June 1993 draft, and there's a break in the action.
Yeah, and the bright spot with Jesse Garcia is that his lone professional home run was against this Prince William Ball Club.
He had that the day before Mother's Day. The Mother's Day game was rained out. Jesse's mother was here from Robstown, Texas. Got to witness his first professional home run. It was quite a day for the Garcias. Next pitch is hit to the right side in foul ground. Juan Thomas over near the dugout, and Thomas makes an excellent defensive play.
Well, I'll say he had to battle our cameraman over there, the little railing that's there, of course the wall. Pretty nice play. Here it is again. Jesse's going to lift one to the right side, and watch Juan Thomas make a fine defensive play. Right at the wall.
Thomas not just a hitter, but a good defensive player as well. That brings up David Lamb, the shortstop, a number 9 hitter. Lamb 0 for 3 in the series, played in Saturday's game.
And he's also 0 for his last 17. He is really struggling right now at the plate. In the words of Jeff Noble, or Matt Noble, the Keys radio announcer, he's just being overmatched right now.
Lamb is a switch hitter, batting right-handed. It's the left-handed pitcher Pratt. Now Lamb behind in the count, 0-2. His average has dipped to 233. 1 home run on the year and 22 runs batted in. Really struggled lately, as Paul mentioned. Lamb bats .231 against left-handed pitching and .234 against righties. Got out of the way of that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Pratt. Keys with 1 hit on the board. Cannons have 2 runs and 4 base hits. Check swing and a ball 2, as the base umpire Mike Billings said that Lamb did not go around. So the count is even with 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. The Keys trail the Cannons 2-0. Swing and a miss. Lamb goes down. Strikeout number 4 for the left-handed pitcher Rich Pratt. He's faced the minimum number of batters 9 as he's cruised through the first 3 innings. At the end of 3, it continues Prince William 2 and Frederick 0.
Pontiac's new Sunfire, your ticket to ride with driving excitement, is available now at Frederick Brothers Pontiac, a family-operated dealership since 1919. Frederick Brothers has a full line of 95s ready for you now, including the Bonneville, among the world's exceptional sports sedans, and the sporty but comfortable Grand Am. Located on 355 just south of Urbana, we'll help you drive excitement in a Firebird, what other sports cars wish they had. A full-service dealership with an award-winning service department and body shop. Frederick Brothers Pontiac.
Get ready.
How dare you come in here? How dare you, sir?
I'm scared.
Get the best movies. Get the only choice, HBO. Now, get the phone. Call your local cable company now for HBO.
Keys pitcher Matt Marenghi has had the benefit of 2 double play ground balls, but trails to the Prince William Cannons 2-0 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Due up for the Cannons, it's Harold Williams, Joe Durso, and Juan Thomas. You see some of the fans here at Grove Stadium for the conclusion of Beach Weekend. Harold Williams, the lefty, hit a ground ball to the second baseman Jesse Garcia in the first inning, and Garcia turned it for the DP to end that inning. Williams last year, I mentioned, had 24 home runs and 104 runs batted in. He topped the South Atlantic League in several categories in 1994. The RBI led the way with 104. He had 162 hits. 99 runs scored, 267 total bases. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike. All of those numbers led the South Atlantic League.
Oh, he's an awesome hitter. I mean, we talked about his power potential, but he also has the ability to hit for average, Jeff, and the reason for that, he's very disciplined at the plate for a big man.
1 and 2 as he swings and misses. Quite a prize for the White Sox organization, picked in the 26th round of the June 1993 draft.
Just hard to imagine somebody driving in over 100 runs in a minor league season, which is only 140 games, and he did that last year.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Williams. Takes high and outside, the count even at 2-2. Williams was the Harry Barrios last year for the Hickory Crawdads.
That's exactly right. The Charles Lubin Award is their MVP award. Oh, my.
There's a drive to deep right center. Valdez, Avila back. They look up. It's gone. So the second home run of the game given up by Matt Marenghi to Harold Williams, and it gives the Cannons a 3-0 lead. No doubt about that one.
Well, we talked about how in batting practices he was losing baseballs and hitting them over the 3rd tier out there in right field and off the 3rd tier. I'm not sure where that one landed, but it was definitely out of here. Harold Williams goes downtown. There it is. It's a fastball up in the strike zone, and he obliges Matt Marenghi. He says, "Thank you very much," and he just drilled. You can see Valdez in right field. He's making no effort. He knows it's gone.
Home run number 10 for Harold Williams, RBI number 43. And Joe Durso takes a strike from Marenghi.
Larry McCall was up on the top step. I think he wanted to come out and calm his pitcher down and changed his mind and since gone back in the dugout. Good breaking pitch right there. And that's what Matt Marenghi needs to do. He's had a hard time getting his off-speed stuff over for strikes. I've seen a couple good changeups, 1 or 2 decent curveballs, but not consistently. And that's what you need to set up your fastball. Is you need good off-speed stuff too.
0-2 pitch, grounded to the right side. Past Marenghi, Jesse Garcia makes the play and throws to Jeff Michael for the first down. Ron Kitchen is now warming in the Keys bullpen as Matt Marenghi has given up 3 runs and 5 hits, including 2 home runs. Keys pitchers, as you see Ron Kitchen warming in the bullpen, have now given up 70 home runs on the year. That's the second most in the Carolina League. And Juan Thomas, who homered in the second, is at the plate. Thomas takes a strike. Thomas hit his 12th home run of the year earlier in the game. One ball and one strike now.
Well, I think Matt Marenghi knows that he's very close to coming out of this ball game, and if he wants to keep himself in the ball game, he's going to have to start making some good pitches. He did on that last batter to Durso, made a real fine pitch on the inside corner to retire him on a ground ball.
2 balls and 1 strike to Thomas. The 3, 4, and 6 hitters have produced the 3 runs for the Cannons tonight.
Let's see if he can get this changeup over.
He did. Thomas couldn't catch up with it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think it actually was a fork ball, which does act like a changeup. It's slower. Fooled Juan Thomas.
Got him. Strike 3 called. Good looking pitch by Marenghi. He put it where Thomas couldn't hit it.
Absolutely right, Jeff, and that's exactly what Matt needs to do. That ought to give him a little bit of confidence now. As you see his pitch count there being relayed onto the screen, 61 pitches, and we're only in the top half of the 4th inning. He made a couple nice pitches that time to Juan Thomas. Like I said, I think he knows he's close to coming out of his ball game, and he doesn't want to come out. There's a great pitch right there. Nobody's going to hit that pitch.
And a line drive. Barrios is there to make the play. Maglio Ordonez is retired for the 3rd out in the 4th. But another run for the Cannons via the home run bat of Harold Williams at the end of 3 1/2. It's Prince William now 3 and Frederick nothing.
It's fun for everyone. The Keys Next homestand is July 21st through the 24th. But there's one standalone Keys game July 10th. That's when the Grove turns into the House of Blues. That's right, Jake and Elwood bring their briefcase full of blues into Frederick for one show only, July 10th, when the Blues Brothers Act brings music and mayhem to the crowds. The Blues Brothers have entertained nationally and for crowds at Chicago Bulls games, so don't miss their only area appearance, July 10th at Grove Stadium. For Keys tickets and information, call 662-0088. Don't miss it.
Rich Pratt, the left-handed pitcher for the Cannons, has allowed just 1 base hit, no runs through the first 3 innings. He'll face the top of the order for the Keys in the bottom of the 4th inning. There are 3 other games being played in the Carolina League this evening. And Paul, what's going on around the league?
All right, Jeff, down at Winston-Salem in the 3rd inning, it's Lynchburg 2, Winston-Salem nothing. In the 3rd inning at Wilmington, it is Salem 2, Wilmington nothing. And in the 3rd inning down in Kinston, North Carolina, it is the Bulls of Durham 1 and Kinston 1.
Trovan Valdez will lead it off in the 4th. Valdez struck out in the 1st inning against Rich Pratt.
Well, Jeff, manager Michael Berry will do anything to change the hitter's luck. He decided to stay in the dugout this inning. He's going to let Joe Durham coach 3rd base and Chris Lim coach 1st. So let's see if a little shakeup in the coaching boxes doesn't help the Keys offensively.
And the first pitch is taken for a ball by Trovan Valdez.
There is Coach Joe Durham. He's in the 3rd base box now.
Soft line drive to center field. On comes the center fielder McKinnon. He can't make the play.
See? It's already worked.
Trovan Valdez gets some good luck from Joe Durham, who's coaching at 3rd, and Chris Lim, you see on your screen, coaching at 1st base.
There it is again. It's just a little pitch on the inside portion that he manages to get, I'd say about the half of the sweet part of the bat on, but it's enough for a base hit. And just like that, Joe Durham's got something going. Sorry, Skipper.
Mike doesn't care as long as it's positive.
That's right. That's right.
Stay in the dugout the entire game as long as the Keys can hit the ball. Frederick has their 2nd hit of the ball game. Quick throw back to first. Valdez has 24 stolen bases. So Pratt should keep an eye on him. Troven leading the Keys in that category. 24 steals and 32 attempts. Another throw back to first base. Rolando Avila, the batter, grounded out to third in the first inning. 24 steals. Valdez ranks third in the Carolina League. Again, Pratt back to first for the third straight time. Hasn't yet made a pitch to Rolando Avila, the batter. Avila resides in Paramount, California. That's in the Los Angeles area. Again back to first. 4 times Pratt has thrown over that way. Avila played for Bluefield last year, batted .275. He's got a lot of speed himself. Paul mentioned earlier in the broadcast, if these two guys at the top of the order can get on base, they can provide some excitement. Fly ball to left center. Left fielder Newhouse in shallow left center field makes the catch. That is out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Tommy Davis. Davis struck out in the first. You see Troven Valdez at first base. He led off the inning with a base hit. Tommy Davis bats .271 against left-handed pitchers. He's had 10 hits in his last 39 at-bats. And throw number 5 over to first base by Rich Pratt. We know Tommy Davis can hit the ball, but his fielding has been a question mark. But in the second half, through 10 games, Tommy Davis has no errors. Valdez runs. The throw down to second by Durso in time. And Troven Valdez is cut down. Only the 9th time that Valdez has been thrown out attempting to steal. Pretty good throw by catcher Joe Durso.
Well, it took a great throw. I thought he was in there anyway, but let's take a look. You be the umpire. He gets a good pitch to handle, does Durso. The ball is right there, a little bit to the third base side, and I think he gets his hand in before the tag.
So now Rich Pratt can concentrate on the batter, Tommy Davis. 1 ball and no strikes is the count. There are now 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning and nobody on for Frederick. Davis takes a strike. The count is even at, it's now 2 balls and 1 strike as they've updated the scoreboard.
Well, I was really surprised to see the Keys running, Jeff. Down 3-0. They got 2 guys that are capable of hitting the ball out of the yard, which if they did, could get the Keys back within 1 run. So I was a little surprised that they had Valdez running on that.
Davis grounds it up the middle off the glove of the pitcher Pratt. Shortstop Goldagoski throws to Juan Thomas at first. That's the final out here in the 4th. They've completed 4 innings at Grove Stadium, and it continues. Prince William 3, and we'll be right back.
The Frederick News Post. We circulate all the information you need. For home delivery, call 662-1177.
It's time to take to the road. Beckley's Camping Center offers over 20 brands of motorhomes and travel trailers featuring Coleman folding trailers by Fleetwood. Beckley's has 13 Coleman models to choose from, so you can enjoy the beauty of the great outdoors with a trailer that's right for you. Coleman's sturdy, lightweight construction allows for easy setup, giving you more time to relax with family and friends. Get a head start on your vacation. Visit Beckley's Camping Center, your full-service RV dealer, Route 15, 12 miles north of Frederick.
The Keys trailing 3-0 to Prince William as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. As the 4th inning ended, Troven Valdez was trying to make something happen for the Keys. With Tommy Davis at the plate, 1 out. Valdez attempting to steal. It's a very close play.
Watch the left hand. It's in there right now. He's got the base, and there's the tag. But, you know, we have the benefit of this slow motion. That's a great shot right there, let me tell you. And umpire don't have that benefit, so he's got to call it right away, and it's his judgment that the tag was made before he got his hand in.
Paul Gonzalez will lead it off in the top of the 5th inning. He'll be followed by Andre Newhouse and Sandy McKinnon. Matt Marenghi on the mound for the Frederick Keys. Ron Kitchen is warming up in the bullpen, and Marenghi's first pitch is a strike. Gonzalez grounded out to short in the 2nd inning.
Marenghi needs a clean inning this inning here in the 5th. The 5th, and you know, that'll boost his confidence and give him a little bit more impetus, if you will.
And a ball, 1-1 is the count. Marenghi has struggled in every inning. Gave up a double and a single and 1 run in the 1st. Gave up a solo home run to Juan Thomas in the 2nd. In the 3rd inning, the Cannons had 2 runners aboard with 1 out. And Marenghi induced Frank Menachino, the 3rd batter in the lineup, to hit into a double play. There's a fly ball to center field. Avila coming in. He's got it measured and makes the catch. 1 out in the 5th. Then last inning, Marenghi gave up a solo home run to Harold Williams to begin play in the 4th inning. So the Cannons have scored a single run in each of 3 innings out of the first 4 here this evening. 3 runs and 5 hits for the Cannons. No runs, 2 base hits for Frederick. 1 out in the top of the 5th inning, and Andre Newhouse is the batter. Newhouse flied out to right in the 3rd inning.
You know, Jeff Michael over at first base is like playing even with the bag, and I'm not so sure why he's doing that unless Newhouse is a real threat to bunt. But Davis at 3rd is back.
Pitch is fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike to Andre Newhouse. Has his only 2 home runs of the season in this series.
There you see where Jeff Michael's playing. He's playing very shallow for a right-hand hitter on top of that.
Marenghi wasting no time. Comes to the plate. The 1-1 pitch is fouled off to the right side. Cannons batters have made very good contact against Matt Marenghi's pitches here this evening.
And now you see Jeff Michael moving back deep at first base. So obviously the reason why he was playing in was out of respect for Newhouse's ability to bunt, which I didn't know he was a threat to bunt. And that solves that riddle. Time is called as the ball has gotten loose in the Keys bullpen, where Kitchen continues to throw.
See Jeff Michael backed up now. Newhouse just 2 hits and 11 trips to the plate against Frederick in 1995. Low bouncer, 3rd baseman Davis cuts in front of a shortstop Lamb, and safe at first base is Andre Newhouse. So an infield base hit.
Well, Jeff, did he beat the throw, or did Michaels pull his foot off the bag too soon? I thought the throw was there. It's a nice breaking pitch, low and inside. Tommy does his job cutting in front of the shortstop. Throws the ball on the run, which he has to do, and he might have beaten it out.
An infield single for Andre Newhouse, and the top of the order is up now for the Cannons, and that means Sandy McKinnon. He struck out in the 1st and singled in the 3rd. Back to first goes Marenghi, and Newhouse is there safely. Newhouse has 3 stolen bases this season in 4 attempts. Newhouse gives the Cannons pretty good speed in the number 9 spot in the lineup. McKinnon looked to bunt, but took the pitch inside, had to get out of the way of it. 2 balls and no strikes now from Marenghi. Newhouse had 26 steals last year for South Bend. Only caught stealing 4 times, 26 out of 30. Back safely once again is Andre Newhouse. This is Newhouse's 6th season of professional baseball. Began his career in 1990. Gulf Coast League. Pitch out. Newhouse bluffed and then went back to first base. 87 steals in his minor league career.
Has he always been with this organization, the White Sox?
Yes, he has.
Been around a while then.
2 balls and no strikes to the batter, Sandy McKinnon. Another throw back to first. Three to nothing, the Cannons leading. Newhouse is aboard with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. The runner goes. Throw down to second is wild, out into center field. A good play by Rolando Avila. And a stolen base for Andre Newhouse, so he's in scoring position with 1 out. Foster made an errant throw.
He got a good pitch to handle. It's on the outer portion of the plate. This ball just takes off on him. And credit to Newhouse with a stolen base. Foster only throws out about 27% of base stealers attempting to steal. Not real good, something he'd like to improve on. He's been about that percentage all year long too, 26, 27%.
So Newhouse has his 4th steal of the year. He's in scoring position for Sandy McKinnon. And a strike on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to McKinnon. 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. The Cannons have a 3-0 lead. They have 2 home runs in the game, one by Juan Thomas and one by Harold Williams. On deck is Jason Goligoski. Play at second base. And back safely. Key showing a lot of respect to Andre Newhouse.
Well, especially with 1 out, because if he is going to attempt to steal third, it would be with 1 out. Oh,
strike 3 call.
That's a great pitch right there, Jeff. And Matt's got to see. He wanted that ball back right away. Did you notice that when he got the call, he ran down the mound and held that glove out. Jimmy, give me the ball back. I'm ready to go. He's pumped up right now. This is a great pitch. He hits the spot perfectly right there on the corner. And that's what we said he had to do last inning. He's going to have to start making some great pitches to keep himself in the ball game, and he's responded to that.
Strikeout number 3 for Marenghi. Brings up the shortstop Goligoski, and he steps out. That pitch won't count. But Marenghi, for the 2nd time in the last 2 innings, put the pitch exactly where he wanted to and got the 3rd strike. He froze Juan Thomas last inning. And has just gotten Sandy McKinnon to strike out. Goligoski fouls it off. 1 strike is the count. Ron Kitchen is ready if needed in the bullpen. He's been warming up for the last 2 innings. See a look at Ron Kitchen. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Jason Goligoski. He doubled in the 1st inning and scored on the Menachino base hit. And then grounded into a double play in the 3rd. A pop up in the infield. 3rd baseman Davis, catcher Foster. They collide. I believe Jim Foster made the catch. And that's the 3rd out. We're halfway through the game. And the Cannons have a 3-0 lead over the Keys. We'll be back with more Keys baseball after these messages.
The silver bullet. It's shipped cold to preserve the clean taste of the Rockies.
Tap the Rockies!
Hello, I'm Susan Sullivan for the National Hospice Organization. Hospice is a supportive program of care for terminally ill people and their families. Hospice affirms life, enabling people with a terminal illness to be cared for at home with love and with dignity. To learn more about hospice, call the National Hospice Organization.
Or Hospice of Frederick County at 694-6444.
We're back at Grove Stadium. I'm Jeff Walker along with Paul Merrill, bringing you all of the action of Keys baseball. They'll televise 3 times this week. We'll take tomorrow off. The Keys will be in action at 2:05 against the Salem Avalanche, and then Cable 10 will televise both games Wednesday and Thursday. The Wednesday game begins at 7:05. Our pregame show starts at 6:45, and then that Thursday game begins at 6:35. So we'll be on the air at 6:15. So 3 times this week, you can see Keys baseball on Frederick Cable Channel 10. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Danny Clyburn will lead it off for Frederick. He had a single in the 2nd inning. It was the Keys' first hit of the game, and then Clyburn was caught leaning towards second and picked off by Rich Pratt. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it away. Clyburn has had base hits in 6 of his last 8 games. So he is starting to crack out of the slump a little bit, but currently batting just .214 and a strike called. So Clyburn down quickly 0-2. Clyburn batting just .111 against left-handed pitchers. And Clyburn nearly got hit by that pitch. Rich Pratt has cruised along through the first 4 innings, allowing just 2 Keys base hits. Swing and a miss, and Danny Clyburn is the 5th strikeout victim of Rich Pratt. Clyburn now 1 for 2 in the game, goes back to the dugout. That'll bring up Jim Foster. Foster is the 9th leading hitter in the Carolina League. He popped out to 3rd base in the 2nd. You see Foster's current batting average of .284. Came into the game batting .286. Foster with just 1 home run on the year and 21 runs batted in. 17 doubles and 2 triples. Strike called on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jim Foster. Foster with 36 hits in his last 106 at-bats for a .342 average. And he hits it high to the left side. The shortstop, Goligoski, falls off the 3rd baseman, Gonzalez, and makes the catch. So 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rich Pratt is just 2-8 on the season. This is his 3rd start against the Keys this year, and Paul, he's been very impressive against Frederick batters.
Yeah, not even a loud knock off of him so far tonight, even though the Keys have but the 2 hits, and neither one of them are anything to jump up and down about. One was a little dying quail by Clyburn, the other one, Valdez, sort of fisted one into center field. So he's definitely had the Keys number here tonight as Harry takes a strike and is behind 0-1.
Berrios struck out in the 2nd inning. Grounds it foul down the 3rd base side, so Berrios quickly behind 0-2. Harry hitting fairly well against left-handed pitching, batting .250. He's had base hits in 5 of his last 8 starts. Starting to swing the bat a little bit better over the last 15 games or so. But still not up to Harry Berrios' standards. Swing and a miss, and Berrios strikes out for the 2nd time in the game. Rich Pratt gets the Keys 1-2-3 in the 5th. After 5 complete, the score continues. Prince William 3 and Frederick nothing.
Hi, boys and girls. If you're 14 or under, you can join the Frederick Keys Knot Hole Gang for only $6. As a Knothole Gang member, you'll receive an official Knothole Gang membership card, admission to all Monday and Wednesday games for 25 cents, a Knothole Gang t-shirt, a free baseball clinic with the Keys players and coaches, and a chance to win prizes every Knothole Gang night. For more information, call the Keys at 662-0013.
You won't get your hands on a QVC product until we get our hands on it. Some people say we're tough.
Very tough.
This is the drop test, where we make sure a product will hold up during shipping.
These have to be rewritten.
We stand behind everything we sell, so if somebody returns a product because they don't like the color or something like that,
Perfection.
that's okay.
I just don't want them to have to return it. Because it doesn't work.
We head to the top of the 6th inning at Harry Grove Stadium. And the lights should be coming on soon.
That's actually I think, Jeff, those might be the lights next door at the Youth League ballpark. So there must not be much going on over there tonight. It's a nice complex. It's a nice setting here with the Youth League ballpark right next to the professional ballpark.
3-0, Prince William leading Frederick. Matt Marenghi still on the hill for the Keys. He's given up 3 runs and 6 base hits.
He's hanging on, isn't he, Jeff?
He sure is. Last inning just gave up a single to Andre Newhouse with 1 out. He got a strikeout and a foul pop-up to the catcher.
Still hasn't had a clean inning, and what I mean by that is a 1-2-3. But he came close last inning, only yielding 1 hit.
Here's Frank Menachino. He takes a strike. Menachino singled and knocked in the first Cannons run in the first inning. And then grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the third. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Frank Menachino.
I think you mentioned earlier that Menachino was drafted something like the 43rd round, and it was almost a slap in the face to him because he was drafted after Kerry Schuler. Oh, that ball's hit pretty
Rips
good.
it to deep left. Barrios back. He'll play it off the wall. And a 2-bagger for Frank Menachino with his 2nd base hit of the game.
Well, that ball got out there in a hurry. This is a line shot right down the line. Take a look at it. It's on the inner part of the plate, which is where Foster wanted it. And boy, does he turn on this ball. It hits, I believe, on the fly, on the lower tier, and right at the base of the fence where the bust there is, and gets by Harry Barris a little bit, but not enough to allow Menachino to go to third. So it's a stand-up double. And I don't know how much longer they'll stay with Marenghi here. He's right away. He's in trouble with a runner in scoring position and no outs, and the very, very dangerous Harold Williams up.
Marenghi has allowed at least 1 base hit in every inning. And the leadoff hitter is aboard in the 6th. Harold Williams has grounded into a double play and hit a solo home run in the 4th.
Well, to finish that story, if I may, Jeff, about Menachino, he was drafted in the 43rd round. That was after Kerry Schuler, the daughter of White Sox general manager, was drafted. So a little bit of a slap in the face, and I think Frank took offense to that. He's trying to prove something. He certainly proved it to me. He's had a good year this year.
1 ball and 1 strike to Harold Williams. Menachino has had a very good career prior to this year. Came in with a .289 batting average in 2 minor league seasons. 10 home runs and 76 runs batted in. Played in 173 games with South Bend, Hickory, and Sarasota in his first 2 years of professional baseball. Marenghi has thrown 85 pitches. No outs here in the 6th inning.
Well, if he doesn't get Williams, I think that'll be it for him.
Speed stuff misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Menachino, the runner at second base, was chosen as the Charles Lubin MVP at Class A South Bend last year. Had a franchise record on base percentage of .427. He's been on base 2 of 3 times tonight. Williams swings and misses for Marenghi. It's strikeout number 4 as he gets out a tough hitter in Harold Williams.
Marenghi sucks it up here and gets Harold Williams to chase a pitch that's probably out of the strike zone, and he's managing to keep himself in the ball game.
Big out there. So 1 gone, and Joe Durso to the plate. Juan Thomas is on deck. Marenghi's fared well against Durso so far in this game. It's popped out to the catcher and grounded out to second. Durso, the only one of the top 6 hitters without a base hit for the Cannons this evening. The only other 2 hitters are Ordonez and Paul Gonzalez. And a ball 1.
Well, he's had trouble this inning getting his off-speed stuff over for strikes again. Change up earlier to Williams. There's that time a curveball that misses.
And there he gets the strike. That evens the count at 1-1. 1 out in the top of the 6th. Frank Menachino is on at second base. He led off the inning with a 2-bagger as he ripped a shot to left field. Durso takes a ball outside. It's now 2-1. Joe Durso attended Long Island University. Began his professional career in 1992.
Played last year in Hagerstown, so
just about 25 miles away from Grove Stadium. 2-1 is ripped to left field for a base hit. Menachino is being waved home as Berrios plays it. He'll throw the ball to second. Menachino scores. The ball gets past Jesse Garcia, but Jeff Michael is there to back it up. So Joe Durso has an RBI single, and the Cannons now have a 4-0 lead.
and that should just about do it for Marenghi. Let's take another look. It's a breaking ball. It's actually a pretty good pitch by Marenghi. That's too bad. So let's give Durso some credit for taking a pretty good curveball into left field for a base hit. He's going to get the RBI, and with that RBI, he's going to chase Matt Marenghi as the skipper, number 9, manager Michael Berry, is on his way to the hill.
Ron Kitchen is warming up in the bullpen as Mike O'Berry visits with his starting pitcher Matt Marenghi. Now the signal has been made to the bullpen, and the base umpire Mike Billings will head over to get Ron Kitchen to come into the game. And there you see Matt Marenghi as he heads to the dugout. Kind of a rough outing this evening. He gave up 8 base hits and 4 runs. He'll be responsible for Joe Durso, who singled and is standing on at first base. Matt Marenghi is finished for the evening. He pitched 5 1/3 innings, had 4 strikeouts, had pretty good control this evening, allowing just 1 walk.
And with that change, it means it's now time for the Frederick Gas call to the bullpen. Remember Frederick Gas? Because it's your best energy value. Kitchen will come on for his 30th appearance this year, which ties him for 3rd overall in the league. He's a workhorse. He's won 2, lost 2, but he's got a hefty 7.5 earned run average. He's pitched 36 innings, given up 53 hits. Opponents are batting .338 against the big right-hander. 6'1", 210 pounder. He resides from Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania. And there are the numbers for number 39, Ron Kitchen.
Kitchen last appeared in Saturday's game against the Cannons. It's 1/3 of an inning. Didn't allow any hits or runs. No walks and no strikeouts. Did not get a decision as the Keys lost that first game of the series 6-1 to the Prince William Cannons. And prior to Saturday's appearance, he last came out on the hill on the 20th of June against Lynchburg. All of those rainouts that the Keys have had in the last 2 weeks have really taken its toll on the pitching staff. A lot of inactivity for most of the Keys starters. And Paul, what does that do to a reliever when he's used to coming in every 2 or 3 days and doesn't pitch for 2 weeks?
All right, well, baseball is a game of rhythms and routines, and what that does is it just screws up your routine, basically. And of course, you got to make adjustments. And maybe I remember one rain out here at Harry Grove Stadium, Jeff, when the rains finally did stop and the crowd was exiting out the gates when the game had been canceled. The pitchers went out and threw in the outfield just to get that throwing in and try to maintain that schedule.
That was last Monday, the rain out. We're supposed to televise the Frederick Wilmington game. Everybody else was headed home, but as Paul Merrill mentioned, some of the Keys pitchers were throwing the baseball around after the rain stopped. Juan Thomas is the batter. He had a solo home run in the 2nd inning and then struck out in the 4th. Joe Durso is on at first base with one out in the 6th. Thomas hits a foul ball to the right side, and it's out of play.
Kitchen is a 4-pitch pitcher possessing a fastball, slider, changeup, and a forkball.
Kitchen has pitched well in 1995 against the Cannons. This is his 4th appearance. He has a 1-1 record with a 1.93 earned run average. 4 2/3 innings against the Cannons. He's allowed just 1 earned run. One ball and 1 strike to Juan Thomas. Way outside. 2-1.
Kitchen throws a little bit harder than Marenghi. That pitch registering 87 miles per hour on the speed gun. A little bit better than the major league average.
Throw back to first once again. Durso, we mentioned, played at Hagerstown last season. He's the runner at first base. Had a very good year. Batted over 300 with 11 home runs and 67 runs knocked in. Hagerstown is a Toronto Blue Jays affiliate. They're in the South Atlantic League. Thomas rips a shot to left. Barrios comes in a few steps and makes the catch. That ball looked like it was hit a lot better.
It sounded good. It didn't have the distance.
2 outs in the 6th. That'll bring up Maglio Ordonez. Ordonez 0 for 2 in the game. He's grounded out to second and flied out to left. Ron Kitchen on the mound in relief of Matt Marenghi. Runner at first base Joe Durso is the responsibility of Marenghi. Kitchen misses outside.
Jeff, the scores in the Carolina League have changed dramatically since our last report. We'll update those here in a minute. We got a moment.
Grounded to the left side. Shortstop David Lamb in the hole makes the throw to second baseman Garcia. They get the force play for the 3rd out. Another run scored by the Prince William Cannons. They extend their lead now to 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Nobody has what Tate has, no sir. Nobody has what Tate has.
Stop by Tate today and check out the full line of Chrysler Plymouth vehicles, including the 1995 Chrysler Sebring. This is luxury, but luxury accented by sportiness. Tate also has the all-new 1996 line of minivans, establishing new standards by which all others in their category will be judged in the decade to come. Tate Chrysler Plymouth on Route 85 in Frederick.
Ooh, all right, what's that?
Airplane flying above Harry Grove Stadium. Rich Pratt on the mound for the Cannons.
All right, let's update this Carolina League scoreboard. In the 4th inning, it's Lynchburg 5, Winston-Salem 2. In the 4th inning, it's Salem 7, Wilmington 3. And in the 4th inning, we have a rain delay down at Kinston where the score is Durham 2 and Kinston 2.
Rich Pratt pitching a very good game against the Keys. In 5 innings, has allowed just 2 base hits and no runs. As the Keys offensive drought continues, Frederick with just 7 hits in this series. Jeff Michael will lead it off for Frederick in the bottom of the 6th. Michael up for just the 2nd time. He grounded out to 3rd in the 3rd inning. He'll be followed by Jesse Garcia and David Lamb.
Joe Durham continues to coach at third.
Michael swings at the first pitch and hits a drive to center field, but Sandy McKinnon is there. So one pitch and one out in the bottom of the sixth inning.
Well, sometime when teams are slumping or hitters are slumping, it's a good idea to maybe try to bunt. Anything to try to change your luck. We mentioned Michael Berry trying to change his luck by staying in the dugout, letting Joe Durham coach third base. Sometimes hitters can try to change their luck by bunting. Let's see what Jesse Garcia attempts to do here.
Jesse 0 for 1 in the game. He popped out to first in the third inning. David Lamb is on deck. Garcia takes a strike one. Jesse hitting a lot better against right-handed pitchers than he is lefties. Against lefties like Rich Pratt, he's hitting just 178. Looked to bunt on that pitch and takes it for a ball inside. Count even at 1-1. Garcia against right-handed pitchers is batting .270. He's had just 4 hits in his last 29 at-bats overall. Inside once again, 2-1 to Jesse Garcia. One out in the bottom of the sixth inning. The Keys trail Prince William 4-0. Cannons with single runs in the first, second, fourth, and sixth innings. Pratt comes inside once again. It's now 3-1 to Jesse Garcia. Pratt has been ahead of the hitters for the most part this evening.
Yes, he has not walked a batter. I look for Jesse Garcia to be taking all the way here. Anything to try to get something going.
Look to bunt, takes the strike 2. The count is full. You see Pratt's pitch count, just 69 pitches so far.
Very fuel efficient, I'd say.
Foul tip by Garcia. He's still alive.
Now here's a guy who's 3-1 on the hitter, and now 3-2. He's thrown 2 changeups in a row, and I tell you what, I think he's got the best changeup that I've seen in the Carolina League this year. Every time you see that pitch kind of bottom out as it reaches home plate, that's the changeup he's thrown, and he's got a great changeup.
Strike 3 is called. So Pratt gets his 7th strikeout.
David Lamb.
He's retired 7 straight Keys. Robin Valdez is the last base runner for Frederick. He had a single to begin the 4th inning. And now David Lamb, the switch hitter. Lamb struck out in the 3rd. Pratt has struck out 3 of the last 5 batters he's faced. Inside to David Lamb. 1-0 is the count. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Nobody on for Frederick. They trail 4-0. 2 balls and no strikes. David Lamb, no hits in his last 18 at-bats. Rounds it foul, just outside the bag at 3rd. Well, actually went over or under the fence and then came back on the playing field.
And I knew how better to throw this ball into the stands for the kids. I saw it go out of play and then come back. That ball belongs to the kids. Well, they'll have to wait for another foul ball. They're not going to get that one. Well, our fans in left field with the furniture promotion aren't generating much offense here.
Lamb with a good bunt. Catcher Durso's throw in time to Juan Thomas. Excellent defensive play by catcher Joe Durso to cut down David Lamb. Rich Pratt retires the Keys in order once again in the 6th. The end of 6 complete. It continues. Prince William 4, Frederick nothing.
Frederick Frederick Keys Baseball at Grove Stadium is fun for everyone. The Keys Next homestand is July 21st through the 24th. But there's one standalone Keys game July 10th. That's when the Grove turns into the House of Blues. That's right, Jake and Elwood bring their briefcase full of blues into Frederick for one show only, July 10th,